Hey Kern County, I'm 23ABC's Chief Meteorologist Elena Rusk, and for the last couple weeks you've heard scientists like me excitingly talking about this big lunar event that we have coming up the morning of January 31st, a super blue moon eclipse. But what is that? Well, it's actually three events happening at once: a supermoon, a blue moon, and a lunar eclipse. And it's pretty exciting because we haven't had this in a really long time. So let's break down what it means. We'll start with the supermoon part. The moon's orbit has a window called perigee every year where it is much closer to the Earth than the rest of its track throughout the year. This makes it appear larger and brighter than usual, and this is obviously most impressive when it's 100% full. We had a supermoon in December and another one on January 1st. The third in this series will happen coming up on January 31st. So then what is a blue moon? Well, that's simply when we get a second full moon in 1 month. It doesn't actually appear blue, and it's not that rare. You may have heard the phrase once in a blue moon, which is used as the equivalent of like a once in a generation or a once in a lifetime opportunity. But we actually get a blue moon every year or two. As we can see on the moon giant calendar, we'll have another blue moon coming up in March of this year. So then also on January 31st, there will be a lunar eclipse. Well, didn't we just have an eclipse? Yeah, we had an impressive total solar eclipse a few months ago where the moon passed between the Earth and the sun, creating a shadow over the United States. What's happening this time is a lunar eclipse where the Earth will pass between the sun and the moon, creating a shadow over the moon that will make it appear red. So scientists like me are excited about this because it's these three lunar events all happening at once, and it's quite rare. But when you're watching it from home, it's just a big moon called a blue moon that will actually appear red that morning. And here in California, we're going to have a great view, again, as long as our clouds will clear out that morning. NASA says Californians and viewers in Western Canada will be treated to the total eclipse phase from start to finish through the penumbral shadow that will pass after the moon has set. The last time we had a supermoon lunar eclipse was in 1982. So the umbral eclipse for this one begins at 3:48 a.m. Pacific time. Then at 4:51 a.m. totality will begin, with the best viewing between about 5 to 6 a.m. local time. That totality phase ends about 6:05 a.m. Now timeanddate.com says the time of max totality when the moon is completely covered and appearing red will be at 5:29 a.m. on January 31st. So taking out the blue moon part, NASA said again the last time we saw supermoon lunar eclipse was back in 1985. The next one will be coming up in 2033. Interestingly enough, though, NASA reports we'll have another lunar eclipse next January, and that will also be a supermoon, but not a blue moon. So there are some conflicting reports. Is it 2019? Is it 2033? Well, NASA has different things on different websites. So if you still want to learn more, I have some really fun postings on my website of different sites like NASA, like Moon Giant, like earthsky.org, timeanddate.com that all have discussions about this lunar event. And of course, I would love for you to find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you have a telescope, if you have one of those really nice cameras that can capture some beautiful images of the moon turning red on January 31st, please share it with me. I will show as many of those great images as I can on our newscast that morning, 23 ABC, right here from 4:30 to 7, and again at 11 a.m. Have a great time. This is something fun to learn about right here in Kern County.